Hi guys, welcome back to the Primrose channel. I'm Primrose and this is your safe space for healing, self-care and rediscovery. What if I told you that you're exactly where you need to be? Not because everything is perfect, not because you're not allowed to want more for your life, not because you made it, but simply because this job that you're in right now, this confusion season that you're in right now, this waiting season that you're in right now is shaping something inside of you that the next level of you requires you to be patient and to be present. And the issue with many of us is we are always trying to escape our reality. We are always on to the next thing, whether it's the job, whether it's the relationship, the next city, the next version of ourselves who we believe we should be right now. We treat our current life like it's a waiting room, like it's something that we have to go through or we have to get through. Treat our life like happiness is always ahead. There is always 5 steps that we need to take to be able to fully find ourselves. But what if the lesson, the growth, the transformation that you need is happening right now? As much as you might be in a situation right now that's uncomfortable, sometimes that's where growth happens. And sometimes when we're impatient in our current situation, we look for an escape. And I call this the escape habit. It's like we don't like discomfort in the space or in the area of our life where we're growing. We don't like the job, so we quit the job, right? Or we already start planning on the next job to look forward to, which can be good, but also sometimes it can be bad because in that current situation or current season of your life that you might be in, maybe you need to be there for a little longer to actually be equipped to have the knowledge and the wisdom that you will need before you step over to the next chapter. And sometimes if we're overwhelmed, we numb ourselves by doing things like constant scrolling on social media. If you don't learn to be present where you are, you will carry the same restlessness self of yourself into your next chapter. If you don't learn to deal with a difficult situation and actually face them head on, your next chapter will not be any different. How many times have you said to yourself, or you got into different relationships and you felt like you've dated the same person just in different bodies? That's what happens when you don't learn. It's like for example, you're in a relationship and it's not going well and you constantly pick the same man or the same woman with the same characteristic that you don't like. But when that relationship ends, you get into a next relationship. What then happens is over time, you will realize that these people were not the problem. You were probably the problem because you didn't sit back and reevaluate your life on what you accept and what you don't tolerate in a relationship. So over the years, you've just made the same mistake over and over again. Growth that just doesn't happen when things feel good. Growth often happens in discomfort. So that uncomfortable season that you might be experiencing right now, it's growth. It's not a mistake. It's simply preparing you for the better and how to handle certain situations later on that you might find yourself in life, how to handle those situations with more knowledge and more wisdom. And there's power in sitting still in your present moment. You don't need to escape what you're going through. Sometimes you need to sit still and process it. To sit with the job that you're tired of and asking, what is this teaching me? And maybe you're saying in a current living space that is not comfortable. But currently, what you can do is sit in that space and think, how can I make this space more calm and peaceful for me? How can I make it feel like peace for now? Maybe you're looking for a job. Maybe it's time for you to just sit in that resilience and say to yourself, this season of my life of constantly looking for a job is building me resilience. Sometimes you just probably have to sit in your overwhelming mental space and say to yourself, I don't have the answers right now. And I don't have it all figured out, but that's okay. Because when you sit still, something powerful happens. You start to be present with yourself. You begin to hear yourself. Not the noise, not social media, not comparison, just you. And that's when clarity comes because you're not confused about what other people are saying. You're not confused about trying to compare yourself with other people. You're just sitting still and processing your situation and just trusting that everything will come to pass on its own time. Because in life, growth loves discomfort. Real growth feels like confusion, doubt, and feeling overly stretched with yourself. It's like going to the gym. Your muscles tear before they get stronger, and that's the same with your emotional and physical state. You interrupt the transformation, the growth that you're supposed to have. You don't let the lesson sink. You don't let the emotion move through you. You end up staying stuck, not because you're in the wrong place, but because you're refusing to accept the lessons that that season of your life is trying to teach you. You scroll and see people getting promotions. You see people moving into new cities. You see people falling in love, and you automatically think, I'm behind. But you're not behind. You're in the process. You're in your process. And the thing about life is you never know what someone had to endure to get what they have. I always say this, it's very important for you not to compare your life to others. The girls that you see on social media flying business class, going to different holidays, buying designer bags, wearing designer clothes, be careful not to look at them and think to yourself, I'm actually behind. They're my age. They've got these things and I don't. Because one thing for sure, you don't know what they've had to go through to get those things. And if God was to give you the same steps that they're having to take, you might not like them. Some people are not doing exactly what you think they're doing to get the things that you have. And you will find out that sometimes you are better off with what you have. But what comparison does, it stills any possibility of you seeing that you are capable of getting more for yourself because your focus is on others. You are exactly where you need to be to become who you're meant to be. Not permanently, but presently. How do you become more present in your life or in your waiting season? Stop labeling your season as bad. Instead of saying, this job is bad, or this job sucks, try, this job is teaching me what I don't want, and that is valuable because going forward, you're not going to apply for this next job. You're not for the same job. You're not going to apply in the same sector because you already know what you don't want. Don't let your emotions make you make decisions that you will regret later in life. Because if you're in a season of your life where you either don't like your living space, or you don't like your relationship, or you don't like your job, or you don't like where you are in life right now, if you make a rash decision, you can find yourself in the same situation a month, 2 months, or a repeated cycle over the years. The other way you can be present for yourself is to schedule 10 minutes a day for yourself. To be still. No phones, no distractions, just you and your thoughts. What I usually do for myself is I like journaling. I like writing things down. So sometimes I can go on my phone where it says journal and I can journal things down. But I'm learning to physically write things down, my goals, like what I don't like for myself, or what I'm trying to change, or what I'm trying to work through. Or sometimes I just sit still and have a cup of tea. No distraction, no noise. And I feel like that way you are able to connect with yourself, to feel like the areas of yourself where you feel like you're not happy, or the areas of yourself where you feel like you need to change. Just sit. Notice your thoughts, notice your emotions. You don't have to solve anything. Feel instead of fix. When you feel overwhelmed, resist the urge to try and fix that issue there and there. It goes back to the point where I spoke about do not make rash decisions based on your emotions. Another way to be present in your current situation is create peace where you are. You don't need a new apartment or a new space to feel calm. If where you're living right now is not the best place that you want to be, make that environment a bit more calming and welcoming for yourself. Light a candle, play some music, spray your favorite fragrance in that space. Make your current reality feel intentional and stop waiting for the next season or the next chapter of your life to start feeling good or to start enjoying your present self. Remember, this job, this confusion, this season of your life that you're in right now, it's shaping you. And I understand it might be uncomfortable, but the moment you start to admit to yourself that this season of your life that you're in now, you are here for a reason. And the moment you start being present and connecting with it, not trying to escape it, you unlock the power inside of that lesson. Remember, you don't have to rush everything in your life right now. And I'm not dismissing that whatever season of your life that you might be in, might be painful, might be very uncomfortable. I'm not dismissing that. Just remember, you are exactly where you need to be, not because you can't change it or you can't change your life, because this moment is preparing you for the change. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is sit still in the moment to let the growth happen. If this resonated with you, take a deep breath right now. And remind yourself, I don't need to escape this moment right now. I need to experience it. You've got this. I hope this video has helped someone out there. If you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.